Hey guys, what's up? It's Greg Srzawati with the Find Your Films YouTube channel. For more movie reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you so much for your support. Here's the movie. It's a weird and possibly silly title, depends on how you look at this moniker. Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. I barely can even say that name. Just seems like a silly name. Not that silly when you consider that Nandor Fodor is an actual parapsychologist. This movie is based on a quote unquote true event, and it centers on parapsychologist Nandor Fodor, played by Simon Pegg. It's set in the year 1935. He's out to visit a family. They're called they go by the Irvings. That's their last name, the Irving clan, Irving family. And they claim to have a talking mongoose named Jeff in their premises. Jeff sometimes is in the house. So occasionally he'll go to a nearby cave up in the mountains. Bottom line is Jeff has a very big hold, big influence on the denizens of the small community that the Irvings are part of. And much of the film deals with that parapsychologist, Nandor Fodor, again played by Simon Pegg, trying to debunk this whole talking mongoose nonsense. Accompanying him on the trip is his assistant, Minnie, played by Minnie Driver. She plays this woman named Anne. I've seen a bunch of Minnie Driver films, and it's a very likable character, very subdued and reserved character. And she, while Nandor is out to debunk this theory or claim of the talking mongoose, Anne has more of an open mind to certain things. And you get to see throughout the story how she gets to bond with someone at a local pub, and he gets to share a story about his particular experience with Jeff, the talking mongoose. Jeff, by the way, is voiced by Sandman creator Neil Gaiman and sci-fi author, best-selling author, critically acclaimed Neil Gaiman. Okay, so that is one of the many reasons to check out Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. But is this movie a little bit too trifling and silly for its own good? And from the outset, you might think it's a superficial, just not off-putting, just tonally weird film. And I think that's its charm because it's pretty unpredictable. It blends humor and a serial comic tone with it. It grapples with some pretty weighty issues, but it wraps itself in a very light comedic tale, which is weird. Okay, so it's not one of these things where it's 96 minutes and I actually wanted more of this movie because I thought the world building regarding the Irving clan and their town and the mystery of Jeff was interesting to me, even though I think some people may not really love the humor of this movie. They might think it's a little bit too scattershot or a little bit too simplistic or maybe superficial for them. Maybe they might not glom onto the humor like I did. I really loved it. I really love this movie because it deals with the importance, or what is the importance of debunking a theory or challenging someone's claim that they saw, I don't know, the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot, or in this case, the talking mongoose. Should we let sleeping dogs lie? Should we let these people who make their claims just live their lives and have a happy life and actually let them believe what they see or what they saw or experienced? Or should we, as debunkers, come in, save the day, and tell them, hey, this is not what you're seeing. This is completely an illusion. You're either a scam artist or you're actually seeing things. So these are one of the several concepts behind this light, fluffy comedy that it's trying to get out there within this very seemingly superficial touch by writer-director Adam Siegel. I really love that blend because by giving us sort of a seemingly bubblegum kind of film with Simon Pegg at the front and center of it, or it just actually made me at least engage in the actual themes that this movie was presenting. My only complaints regarding Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose is I really love the Irving clan, the Irvings and Anne, played by Minnie Driver. I wish their characters were fleshed out a little bit more, but that's hard. That's a complaint that's actually hard to really pretty much justify because it's a 96-minute movie and a lot of it deals with the exploration regarding the validity of this Jeff animal, okay, whether the animal is talking or not. So I get why you want this to be a very quick, brisk 96 minutes. A lot of things will go by the wayside, meaning the really well-etched characters of Anne. I wanted more from her. Minnie Driver's fantastic in this, and her sequences where she gets to be intimate just on a personal level with a member of the clan of the Irvings, as well as that aforementioned person in the bar. Those are the scenes that really pop out for me. And actually, what's interesting is Nandor Fodor is actually a little bit less developed than Anne as a person. And I'm not going to really talk about where his character ends up at the end of the movie. But I really loved how Adam Siegel doesn't go for, at least in my opinion, he didn't go for a very saccharine or schmaltzy, overwrought ending where he's trying to put a message and make you feel good about life and faith and myth. No, it actually gets pretty deep without making it go. It's weird. I don't even know maybe I'm ascribing too much value to this movie, but it made me really think about just thoughts on faith and the supernatural and letting people believe what they believe in. Really interesting topics. And I had a good time with it. Yeah. So I was expecting forgot to mention Christopher Lloyd. If you know him, obviously from the Back to the Future films, from Taxi, I really loved a monologue he did. One of the characters he played in Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. He has one of my all-time favorite monologues in cinema. If you've never seen that movie, worth watching. That being said, with Christopher Lloyd in that monologue, he's the kind of actor I can actually watch sit at a table or stand up and do a monologue for minutes on end. And if you love Christopher Lloyd just going off and having a lot of dialogue, you're going to get it here with Nandor Fodor because he plays Dr. Harry Price. He is an elderly parapsychologist who brings this case of the talking mongoose to Nandor Fodor. And the movie is bookended by both these doctors, these parapsychologists, sitting at a bar and just recounting tales to each other, whether it be paranormal or scientific stuff. There's a really interesting Harry Houdini anecdote. In fact, there's really interesting anecdotes in this movie that are just sprinkled within the comedic confines of this narrative. So Christopher Lloyd is very good. And the actual first act, if you are a fan of Lloyd, like I am, you're going to really, it's like catnip. The first act has a lot of Christopher Lloyd discussing stuff in the past, and there's really elaborate Christopher Lloyd voiceover in the first act regarding just a whole world behind Jeff, the talking mongoose, and the Irvings and whatnot. It just really interesting movie. I was surprised by how very insightful this movie is without actually showing that, hey, I'm an insightful movie, really cool film. But I don't know, maybe people won't get what I got, but maybe it's just a really mild, entertaining film for you. I don't know. But tell me what you think of Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. It hits theaters Friday, September 1st, on digital and on demand September 19th. I highly recommend this movie. I was expecting actually 96 minutes of my time to be wasted. It wasn't. I was pleasantly surprised from this movie from filmmaker Adam Siegel. Again, I was pretty much blown away by this movie, just how it seems on the level. It seems like a frivolous exercise, but it's not. And I don't know if I'm really explaining myself very well. Towards the end, if you watch this movie to the end, do not shut it off after the end credits, or do not leave the theater before the end credits, because there's some really cool stuff at the end, which I'm not going to give away, not regarding the story, but the production of Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. All right, that's it. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Tell me what you think of when you see the movie. And finally, thanks again for listening to this review. Please like this video if you can, and subscribe to my Find Your Films YouTube channel. I'll be doing a ton more solo movie reviews on this channel, and then I get together with Bruce Berkey and Eric Holmes for our Cinematics YouTube channel as well. So just a ton of movie coverage, and I think the goal for this particular channel is to find some gems for you guys to watch. I have my share. I have several hundred DVDs and Blu-rays. I want to get to those DVDs and review some of my favorite films for you on this channel, as well as some of the new physical media titles that are rolling in as well. All right, guys, take care. And most importantly, tell me what you think of Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. Take care, guys. Bye.